Is there anything that gets the juices flowing like a rivalry game? And our matchup is bitter. It has barbs and shots thrown on and off the field over the years. Welcome to Camp Randall Stadium, home to the Wisconsin Badgers. As we'll see a squad from the Big Ten, the Minnesota Golden Gophers, taking on another team from the Big Ten, the Wisconsin Badgers. For EA Sports, I'm Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, and David Pollock with me. Guys, can't wait to get this started. The Badgers will get us underway with the opening kickoff. And he's going to bring it out. Not a whole lot of room to operate on that return as the coverage unit was there and ready. So Minnesota's offense will go on the attack first. Well, Paul Bunyan's axe went home to Minneapolis last year, and boy, did the Gophers chop up the Badgers, and probably even sweeter to do it in Camp Randall.
Yeah, and Camp Randall was really quiet because it was a beatdown. I mean, Wisconsin had 166 yards of offense. They got absolutely nothing going. Minnesota got the ball.
And that defense gets to him, and down he goes at the 9.
And you could tell this offense wanted to create a little bit of space being backed up, but how about the D? Coming out firing on all cylinders, getting the sack on the very first play.
They've got them pinned deep in their own end, and this crowd trying to help keep them there. They'll run the counter. Hard running there. Knocked down behind the line of scrimmage, he'll lose a yard.
I love when defensive backs come up and they are physical and they stick their face in the fan and they aren't scared. Talking to the defensive coordinator coming into this game, he knew his DBs had to tackle well. They had to get these running backs on the ground. Great start on this first drive.
And he'll be knocked down at the 2-yard line.
And I'm really impressed with the start by this defense. Like getting to the quarterback early and often. First drive, already have 2 sacks. That's a good sign for this defense.
The Golden Gophers send out the punt unit. 3 and out, and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. So from his own end zone, the punt is away. Found a little running room on that one. Picked up some nice blocks before he's run out of bounds. So the Wisconsin Badgers offense has the ball for the first time. As we take a quick look at the impact players for today's game, what players did you guys look to for motivation to make an impact during your playing days, Jesse?
Well, it was the guys we relied on each and every week. We came into the season expecting these types of guys to be our biggest weapons, and every week those were the guys that had to deliver for us in order to have success.
And it's just fun to have those guys that are consistent. Like they lead by example, then they start to learn their voice and lead the team. But every week, guys that you can count on. They punch the clock, and they're hard workers.
What will they dial up on second, and a long way to go? Wrestled to the ground, but he's inside the 10 and down to the 9.
And a nice job by the running back, finding space, getting downhill, making the good run. Great job finishing with his pads.
42, spot. On 3rd and short, they'll ride the running back here. And that stiff arm is a weapon for this runner. He uses it and picks up a first down.
And it's been a rough start for this defense. They've given up too many yards, a 3rd down right there, but a good chance to bow your neck now, to make a statement. 1st and goal, we got to be physical, got to stop the run game, get a chance to make a stop on this first possession and force a field goal.
He bullies his way all the way down to the 5-yard line. Now it's 2nd and goal. And that defense gets to him, and down he goes at the 9. We've reached the end of the first quarter, and it has been a defensive battle, and the stats tell the tale so far. Let's see if the offenses can find a little rhythm here in the second. They'll try to open this quarter by sticking it in the end zone here. Motion from the wide receiver. Off play action. And the pressure is coming in, and they get him again.
I love the attitude on defense. There was nobody moping around feeling sorry for themselves. The offense has the ball deep in your own end. Step up and make a play. 2nd down, 3rd down, they generate sacks. Nice job.
And he'll take that first drive. Like, you wanted a touchdown, but you gave the people here at home something to cheer about on that first drive. Move the football enough to get your kicker an opportunity and to put 3 on the board.
So the kickoff team is out there ready to boot it away after putting up a field goal. Let's see what the defense can do. And he hauls it in, and everybody's on the edge of their seats. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. A lot of work to do as this drive will start from the 16-yard line. Dropping back, it's Lindsey. Makes the grab on the left. He goes out of bounds. They'll mark him right at the 30-yard line. That's the kind of play that can give a drive momentum. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 30. Use the play fake. Now to throw. Picked off. What a play to set him up. Taking it the other way. Touchdown, Badger. And what a turn of events as this defense gets the pick 6.
How oftentimes can you say that there is a safety who is the most dangerous guy on the field with the ball in his hands? Did you see that guy and his ability in the open field once he picked it off? There was nobody on offense even coming close to getting that guy down. What an athlete.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And with the extra point, they're now up by a touchdown and a field goal at 10. They're set to kick it off, and you think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Minnesota has it back, and the Gopher offense is headed onto the field. They really need to find a way to generate some kind of offense down 10-0. The give is to Taylor. Stopped at the 25 after a 5-yard gain.
Man, it's easy to call plays when you're getting 5 or 6 yards a pop on the ground. Like, why would I get complicated? Why would I get complex? Like, up front right now, this group just win, fall forward, get that good gain, stay ahead of the sticks, don't have to get in bad situations. This defense better respond, or else I'll do that all the way down the field.
And the Golden Gophers can really attack on this 2nd and short. Dropping back, it's Lindsey. Under fire. And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back at the 16.
Well, I think one of the biggest reasons why this team is finding themselves in a hole here in the first half is this has been a sack party. They can't keep the defense off of their quarterback. They haven't been able to get the ball deep down the field, throwing it with the consistency they want because they can't keep their quarterback standing up straight.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, you'll have to turn it loose deep. And the defense gets loose, bringing the heat, and down he goes again.
What a great job by this defense setting the tone early. In the first half, they've been hitting the quarterback early and often. Make him feel uncomfortable. Make him feel that pressure. Keep getting him on the ground. That's why they've built a lead.
The Golden Gophers will line up to punt it away. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. So from the shadow of his goalpost, he gets the punt away. That nifty return sets up the offense and negates some of the yardage on the punt. And Wisconsin has its offense back on the field. Here we go. They'll try to get something on the board here in the final minute of the first half. They kicked a field goal on the last drive, Jesse. They've got the lead. Don't make a dumb mistake, but maintain your aggressive play calling.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think it's the play caller right now just taking a look at that script he's got in front of him and finding out where are my playmakers, who can we take advantage of on this defense to get a touchdown here, David.
Yeah, and just keep moving the ball down the field. Just execute a little bit better in the red zone. There's no need to panic. We're moving the football, and we got the lead.
The offense wastes no time getting the timeout called. And the Badgers with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Back to pass, it's Edwards. Fires toward the end zone. And swatted down by the defense to stop the scoring opportunity.
Well, that DB did everything right on that deep shot. You saw the speed, you saw his ability to turn his hips, and how about getting his head around, locating the football, and then knocking it away? Couldn't have done that better.
He is stopped right at the 21-yard line, and now it'll be 4th down and decision time. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half, maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. And on 4th down, here comes the field goal unit. Never a doubt. Right down the middle. And now the lead is even bigger.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
So they get the late field goal right before the half and not much time after this kickoff for an answer. And he's coming out of the end zone. They make the stop on the return, and that is priority one. You don't want some big return to give up a cheap touchdown on the final play of the half. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Fellas, Paul Bunyan's axe on the line, and already Minnesota and Wisconsin have given us some stirring moments. And yes, football is a game of inches, but man, is that really the case when you consider the length of some of these possessions. Look, I'm not an analytics guy, but I do know this. The team that sustains drives and just moves the sticks might be the team that comes out on top today. With that, let's throw it back to the guys to see how the fight between Minnesota and Wisconsin plays out.
All right, Kevin, about ready to start the second half here. And the Golden Gophers will kick it off to start the second half. Out of the end zone. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Okay, here comes the Wisconsin offense onto the field. They go to work in the 3rd quarter with the lead, but they have had a little trouble keeping their quarterback upright.
Yeah, and you have the lead, you're positive, but the offensive line coach is definitely going to be upset. And the offensive coordinator, listen, I don't want my guy getting touched. He's being productive, but give him some more time here in the second half.
I think you can do that, too, offensively, by maybe leaving your tight end in to help block, maybe chipping with running backs to help these tackles out on the edge, because you're right. That pocket has been shaky, and if it continues to be that way in the second half, this could be a much different looking football.
Didn't have much room to run and not a whole lot of help. Short game there and still plenty of ground to cover for the first down. The Badgers are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. Wants to throw. It's Edwards. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down. And the Badgers will punt this one away. Getting our first look of the afternoon at the punter. And the return man reaches the end of the line, and down he goes. The Minnesota offense is headed back onto the field. We'll see if they can be a little more productive this time around. A 3-and-out the last time they had the ball. The give to the back. Oh, the ball squirts out. Defense falls on the ball. Going to be a turnover.
Offensive players, when they got the ball in their hand, they're trying to make plays, right? Trying to make you miss. There's nothing better than closing that gap and sticking that head right in that guy's chest and causing a fumble.
Couldn't ask for better starting field position for this offense. The give on the inside.
You see, they need more runs like that. It's been so few and far between. Defensively, they've been in position. They've been winning their one-on-one battles, getting off of blocks and rallying to the ball carrier. This defense has done a nice job slowing down the run game thus far.
Give to the running back. Picks up the 1st down. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the 3rd quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical, and they're trying to stay on.
And the defense makes a play, and they get the quarterback down at the 26.
Man, this defensive end is a monster. I mean, you've seen his athleticism and his speed and his bend and his flexibility. He now has 2 sacks, and there's still a lot of football to play.
To the air, it's Edwards. Zings it complete to the right. And he's able to shed 1 tackle and pick up pretty good yardage.
You know, it's funny. I know running backs oftentimes are afterthoughts when it comes to the passing game, but when you think about it, this guy's been making people miss his entire life taking handoffs. So why wouldn't you try to get him involved in the passing game as well? You just saw in that last play how dangerous he is after the catch.
They make the tackle, but he's got a fresh set of downs, and it's 1st and goal from the 7. As we come to the end of the period, Wisconsin has the lead. They've built a cushion. They've got a nice lead. Now the task is finish the deal as you take a look at the 3rd quarter stats. Not only is the scoreboard on their side, but so too is time as we open the 4th. Okay. Starting off this quarter close enough to smell the goal line. They'll try to get it in with the run. He pushes his way down to the 4 as they get closer and closer. Offense trying to pay it off on 2nd and goal. They'll run it. They want to take their time here. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. Be interesting to see what the offense does on this next one.
So this field goal unit has been getting the job done. They've already made a couple here today. It's good. He could have hit a string right in the middle of the uprights there. And they'll push that lead out a little further.
I really like the decision by this offense because now they got to score 2 touchdowns. Time is not on their side. I can stay very, very conservative, use that clock. I like the decision by this offense.
Returner's going to try to see what he can get. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Minnesota has it back, and the Gopher offense is headed onto the field. And the fumble on that last drive could have been much worse, David.
They bailed him out. They held him to a field goal, so that's the good news. Now this offense has to get it going. Forget about the fumble, Jesse. Move on. Be positive.
And they're upset with themselves, too. They're an offense that pride themselves on ball security. Let's see what they do right here.
And that's kind of crazy. I didn't think that would happen coming into this football game. I didn't think we'd get in the fourth quarter and just call his name. This offense, man, he is a big play, dynamic weapon.
Quarterback feeling that pressure, and he's knocked down at the 42. The Golden Gophers want to pick up the tempo.
Nice job by this defense getting to the QB and getting him on the ground, creating the negative.
And he feels the heat coming, and it burns him up. Another sack. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. The 2-minute timeout arrives, and we have certainly seen miracles in college football, and they will certainly need one here. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, he'll need to push it downfield. Defense covering it up and not letting the offense get it back. It's a turnover.
And this really puts it out of reach. I mean, it was already a tall order, and you had to be aggressive in this situation. But now, with this turnover, this one's all but over.
Here comes the Wisconsin offense to go back to work. They're in command of this game. Now let's see if they try to rub a little salt in the wound or happy with getting the W.
Yeah, and listen, this makes the post-game handshake fun sometimes. If you do choose to rub a little salt in it and keep chucking and keep scoring, I'm here for it, Jesse. Like, your job is to score points. It's my job to stop it. Keep the foot to the accelerator. Keep trying to play ball.
I agree 1,000%. That's like Steve Spurrier back in the day when I was playing for the Gators. You go and play for him because you want the opportunity to throw the ball. So when you get in the game late, you're not handing it off. We were beating Central Michigan by 80-something points. He was still letting us throw the football. It's the defense's job to stop it.
And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. Now facing a 3rd and long. Here comes the heat. Caught near the sticks. It's Anthony. He gives him a fresh set of downs, and this one will be 1st and goal from the 6. With the game in hand, the offense choosing to just have the quarterback take a knee. Wisconsin has Paul Bunyan's axe. Goalposts have been figuratively chopped down, and the Gophers have been literally chopped down. Thanks so much for spending some time with us. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.